Ferrari has just revealed why its radical Spa wing could become the most dangerous legal weapon of the season. The so-called Macarena wing rotates its upper flap by 270 degrees, switches configuration within 400 milliseconds, and has been estimated to add as much as 8 to 10 kilometers per hour in the right conditions. The FIA has already inspected and approved the system. Ferrari has already won with the latest package at Silverstone, and now an even more aggressive version is heading to Spa, where the Kemmel Straight will expose every weakness and reward every advantage. But this is not only about top speed. It is about whether Ferrari has discovered a way to reduce drag without sacrificing the balance that destroys tires and confidence. And if that answer is yes, Mercedes and Red Bull may be about to face a championship threat they cannot simply copy overnight. Subscribe to the channel. To understand why Ferrari's so-called Macarena wing could change the balance of the season, you have to begin with the problem it was designed to solve. Formula One cars are always trapped between two opposing demands. In the corners, they need downforce. On the straights, they need less drag. More wing angle creates more grip, but it also creates more resistance. Less wing angle improves top speed, but it reduces the force pressing the tires into the track. For decades, teams have tried to manage that compromise. And under the new regulations, the challenge has become even more extreme. The old drag reduction system is gone. In its place, the cars now use active aerodynamics. The front and rear wings can change between a high downforce configuration for corners and a low drag configuration for the straights. That sounds simple. It is not. The entire car must remain balanced while those surfaces move. The front wing must change. The rear wing must respond. The aerodynamic center of pressure must stay within a range the driver can trust. And every transition must happen quickly, cleanly, and within the rules. Ferrari's answer is one of the most dramatic interpretations anyone has seen. The upper section of the rear wing does not simply open in the conventional way. It rotates. It moves so far that the sponsor logo can appear upside down. The motion looked so unusual during testing that Fred Vasseur jokingly compared it to the Macarena dance. The nickname stayed, but underneath the joke is a serious technical weapon. The upper flap reportedly rotates through roughly 270 degrees. That movement places it in an inverted, low-drag position. Instead of merely creating a small opening between the wing elements, Ferrari's system exposes a much larger path for the air that allows the airflow to pass with less resistance. The result is the possibility of a major increase in straight-line speed. Early paddock estimates suggested the system could be worth approximately 8 to 10 kilometers per hour in certain conditions. That figure has not been publicly confirmed by Ferrari. The team has protected the real performance gain, but even the lower end of that estimate would be significant. In Formula One, a few kilometers per hour can decide whether a driver completes an overtake, defends into a braking zone, or reaches the end of straight before a rival closes the gap. At Spa, that difference becomes even more important. The car climbs through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Then it accelerates onto the Kemmel Straight. The engine works at full demand. The electrical system releases energy. The car reaches enormous speed, and every unnecessary piece of drag becomes a penalty. A wing that can shed resistance more aggressively could transform that section of the lap. But the real brilliance of the system is not just the speed it may create. It is the possibility that Ferrari can run more downforce through the corners, then remove more of the drag on the straights. That is the dream. More grip where the driver needs grip, less resistance where the car needs speed. If Ferrari can achieve both without disturbing the balance, the advantage becomes much larger than one top speed number. It changes how the entire car can be set up. Normally, Spa forces teams into a difficult choice. Run too much wing, and the car becomes slow on the straights. Run too little wing, and the car becomes nervous through the faster corners. The middle sector rewards aerodynamic confidence. The long straights punish drag. Teams must decide where they are willing to lose time. The Macarena concept may reduce that compromise. Ferrari could potentially carry a stronger aerodynamic setup through the demanding corners, then rotate the rear element into a much more efficient position when the car reaches the straight. That would allow Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton to attack the high-speed sections with greater confidence without paying the full penalty on Kemmel. But there is a reason every team has not already copied the idea. Moving a wing this aggressively creates enormous engineering challenges. The structure must remain strong. The mechanism must activate reliably. The movement must happen within the required time. The airflow must remain stable when the element changes position, and the car must not experience a sudden balance shift that surprises the driver. The FIA inspected Ferraris designed directly at Maranello. The system was formally homologated. The activation and closing sequence was judged to comply with the 400 millisecond regulatory requirement. That confirmation matters, because whenever a team discovers an unusual interpretation, the first reaction across the paddock is suspicion. Is it legal? Does it move too far? Does it create an opening the regulations did not intend? Does it complete the transition within the permitted window? Ferrari's system passed that scrutiny. There is no confirmed protest against it. There is no official ruling declaring it illegal. The controversy around copying and potential complaints remains unverified commentary. The wing itself has been accepted, and that makes it more dangerous. A questionable idea can be banned. A legal idea must be beaten. That means rivals cannot wait for the FIA to remove Ferrari's advantage. They must understand it, then develop their own response. Red Bull has already introduced a rotating wing concept of its own. The resemblance immediately created accusations online. Some claimed Red Bull had copied Ferrari. Others argued the two teams developed similar answers independently. There is no confirmed evidence proving that one team copied the other. But the appearance of a parallel concept tells us something important. The paddock believes this direction has value. Teams do not invest time and resources into a complicated active aerodynamic mechanism unless the potential reward is serious. That does not mean every version works equally well. The visible movement may look similar. The details can be completely different. The shape of the main plane, the geometry of the upper flap, the actuator position, the sealing surfaces, the speed of the transition, the interaction with the diffuser and beam wing region. All of these details determine whether the system creates a genuine advantage or merely copies the appearance. That is why Ferrari's development path matters. The wing first appeared during pre-season testing in Bahrain. Ferrari did not immediately commit to using it in every competitive session. The team introduced it carefully. It appeared briefly during first practice in China. Then Ferrari removed it before qualifying. Fred Vasseur explained that the team had not completed enough mileage. That decision reveals how cautious the engineers were. A component can look fast in simulation. It can work during a controlled test. But a race weekend exposes it to heat, vibration, curbs, repeated activation, different wind directions, dirty air, and the pressure of real competition. Ferrari needed to know the system would survive. It needed to understand whether the movement remained consistent. It needed confidence that the wing would return to the correct position every time. A failure at high speed would not simply cost lap time. It could make the car unstable. That is why mileage mattered. The team continued testing. The wing appeared again during a filming day at Monza. That circuit offered a useful environment. Long straights, high speed, low drag demands. A perfect place to study how the mechanism behaved. Then came Miami. Ferrari brought a major package containing 11 separate updates. And Vasseur confirmed that the Macarena wing would remain on the car from that point forward. That statement marked a major shift. The system had moved from experiment to permanent weapon. Ferrari trusted it. The team believed the benefits were real. But even then, the story was not complete. The first version was only the foundation. Ferrari continued developing the concept. Before the British Grand Prix, the team rushed a more aggressive version to Silverstone. It arrived with a revised low-drag diffuser and exhaust changes. Those components were not random additions. They were part of a larger attempt to fix weaknesses exposed in Austria. Ferrari had struggled with pace and tire degradation. The team needed a car that could produce performance without destroying the tires. And this is where the Macarena wing becomes more than a straight-line device. A rear wing changes the load on the rear tires. It affects how the car enters a corner, how stable it feels under braking, how well it rotates, and how much energy the tires absorb. If the aerodynamic balance is inconsistent, the tires can overheat. The driver begins sliding. The surface temperature rises. Grip falls. The driver slides even more. That cycle can destroy a race. Ferrari's public technical language has focused on optimizing the balance range and extracting performance across the full operating window. Those words may sound vague. They are actually revealing. Ferrari is not chasing only the highest possible downforce number. The team wants a car that works through more conditions. A wider balance range means the drivers can trust the car across different corners and different speeds. A wider operating window means the aerodynamic package remains effective as the car moves, the fuel burns away, and the tires change. That is the deeper goal. And Silverstone offered the first major sign that the package may be working. Charles Leclerc won. It was Ferrari's first victory of the season. Lewis Hamilton finished third. Ferrari placed both cars on the podium. That result does not prove the wing alone created the victory. The source describes an entire upgrade package. The revised diffuser mattered. The exhaust changes mattered. The full car setup mattered. Strategy and race circumstances mattered. But the win proved the updated system could survive a complete competitive weekend. It proved Ferrari could run the device under pressure. And it strengthened the belief that the team had improved the car's race pace. Now the system arrives at Spa, and Spa is a more demanding examination. Silverstone rewards high-speed stability. Spa combines that demand with longer straights, greater elevation change, and one of the most famous full-throttle sections in the sport. The wing will be asked to do everything. Create enough rear stability for fast corners. Reduce drag on the straights. Transition cleanly. Protect the tires. And maintain balance with the front active aerodynamic system. One weakness will be exposed immediately. If the car carries too much drag, the speed trap will show it. If the rear becomes unstable, the drivers will feel it through the fast sections. If the wing creates a balance shift during activation, confidence will disappear. If the system works, Ferrari may have one of the most complete packages on the grid. That is why the Spa version is expected to be more aggressive. Ferrari has already validated the concept. The team no longer needs to prove that the mechanism can function. Now it can push for greater performance. A more aggressive version could mean a larger low-drag opening, a different flap profile, a revised relationship between the wing elements, or a more efficient interaction with the bodywork behind the car. The source does not confirm the exact technical changes. That secrecy is deliberate. Ferrari does not want rivals to understand the full solution before the cars reach the circuit. But the direction is clear. The team is trying to maximize the difference between corner configuration and straight line configuration.